Hey guys, and welcome to today's episode of the off-season vlog series. Now, it's not really been that much of an interesting week, shall you call it. I think that now 3 weeks into the lockdown, or approaching the sort of third week, full complete third week, everything is settled with business. Our 6 week lockdown physique has been pretty successful in getting new clientele on board. So we've got 10 sign-ups total. I'm doing 5 and then split 5 between Ali and Clara. And we're just continuing to promote that every single day because we don't know how long this is going on for. We know it's definitely going to go into May. So it's something that people can just jump on board straight away and get access to full online coaching. 99 quid for 6 weeks is an absolute bargain, considering it's usually like 135 or 175. So this morning's check-in, I just got done doing pool. So this morning's check-in, I'll attach. And we're sitting 25 pounds up. I think maybe it's 27 pounds up, because I was 225 and then I'm 252. So yeah, we're getting there. 3 pounds away from being 30 pounds up in 3 weeks isn't too bad. And I think, like, condition wise is naturally holding more body fat, but not necessarily too bad, because I've not had any instances of binges with food. We've stuck with sort of once a week having a takeaway at night, whether that's like a Chinese or some sort of kebab type thing, or we've had like a Sunday roast with like a big dessert. So everything's been strategic, alongside utilising drugs effectively and smartly. So everything was sort of going swimmingly, still going swimmingly, but performance was shooting up and PBs were getting rinsed by like 4 or 5 reps or 10, 15k here or there, whereas now everything's somewhat slowed down and it's getting harder. I could progress fine. I'm getting progression nearly every lift, every set, every session, but it's harder to do, which is good, right? Because that's the challenging part. You've got the honeymoon period, post-diet, where everything's fucking class, performance shoots up, and then all of a sudden, the body starts to let you know that, well, we're starting to feel this now. That increase in load, increase in breakdown that you're putting on us, we're starting to feel it and we're letting you know about it, and recovery is starting to take a little bit of a hit. So for myself, the main emphasis was to bring up sort of biceps or arms, back density and calves. So without even really realising it, what I've been doing is going in and I often train for a good solid hour, 40 to 2 hours, and everything is supersetted or trisetted. So like when I'm doing legs, in between a set of the hack squat, I'll be doing bicep curls and then calves, and then just rotating like that. And then on a pull day, in between my pull movements, I'm doing triceps, or a push day, in between my push movements, I'm doing biceps. And considering before I used to do like literally maybe 10 to 12 sets of biceps or triceps across the week, maybe 9 sets of calves, whereas now I looked at my logbook this morning and I'd done 50 sets of biceps up until this morning, right? Until my pull session. So at the end, when I did 5 occlusion sets, and I was like, fuck, should I do more? I counted back and I was like, no. And then I purposely went in knowing I'd done 43 sets of calves and did 7 sets, so that made it 50. Now, you're probably thinking, well, Vaughn, that's an outrageously amount more volume. And yeah, it is, but 1, I can cope with it, I can recover from it, I can progress, and 2, think of the amount or how much tissue is going to respond from that increase in volume. I would never really probably recommend a client do it, and if I'm honest, I didn't realise I was doing it. I just got on a routine 5 a.m, headphones on, world off, and my phone doesn't go off, I don't look at it, I put it on charge. So I was kind of unaware. I will probably strip that back, because with each week that's going on, I feel my body starting to feel like it needs a bit of a rest, a bit of a deload. You need to remember, last time I probably deloaded was probably December time, and we didn't deload the whole prep. Usually I'll deload every sort of 8 to 10 weeks, usually about 10-week markers. Anymore, I'm fucked. And we've been pushing now for a long time. So the sensible thing to do would be deload soon, but I still want to capitalise on this small window, this finite period I've got to add tissue. So I'll continue to push. And then what will happen is there'll be 1 week where everything will just be off in the gym. And then the visuals will probably look shit, because I'll just see a lot of inflammation and recovery will be poor. So when I notice the signs, I don't want to get push it too far, but when I notice those signs, we'll back off for a week, then push again. When we do back off, I think that's when we'll just taper down to a cruise dose. So the plan is, I'm sitting about 252 pounds. I think the plan is probably push up 257, maybe between 257 and 260. Here over the next sort of 4 weeks, and then just hold 260 for a good sort of 6 to 8 week period whilst we tidy up blood work, get that done, and then after that, from about, let's say, July, August till the end of the year, push up from 260, at least to 280. I think that probably 290 is doable. I've been up at 262 before, and I know how it feels. I know that at 262 this time around, I'll be leaner and won't have as much body fat, but it's still a lot of weight to carry around. So pushing above that to 280, 290, it'll be challenging, but there's new territory there, right? There's new muscle to be gained up there, and if you want to do well in this sport, you kind of got to go to extremes. So I'm excited for the challenge. I'm looking forward to it, of pushing the boundaries, see where my body can go. Having Cal in my corner, we'll just make sure that success is a certainty rather than something that'll happen by chance. Having his input on sort of drugs and maybe perhaps playing about with some other things will be good. I don't reckon I'll touch growth or insulin, because my waist's nice and small, and it, like part of being classic, is you want to keep a small waist, and I don't need that stuff. I don't want to be a mass monster, but the difference between what someone would say 290 is being a mass monster, whereas what I would say 290 is different, right? Because I don't really see that being that big, but I guess it will be. But unless you're shredded at that weight, you're not big. Like, anyone can be 290. And I'm talking in pounds, of course. Now, if someone asked me on my story on Instagram to what a full day of eating looks like, so I'll attach it after this. Now, as you can see, there is sort of quite a lot of high glycemic index carbohydrates in the start of the day, because I train fasted. I won't eat before I go in, I'll just take pre-workout. That highly branched chain cyclodextrin has got a quite high molecular weight, low osmolarity, so it's rapidly absorbed, really available fuel throughout your session. And then as the day goes on, if you'll notice, I taper off and I switch to more sort of low glycemic index carbs, a little bit more fats, about 50 grams of protein dosed each meal, and greens in at least 3 times. And for any assisted bodybuilders, make sure you get your greens in off season. You want to combine that with low salt, just to make sure your potassium levels are high. That's all going to come down to balancing your blood pressure. And when you're up at sort of 250 plus, between 250 300, you want to be making sure that you're balancing that, and you're not getting out of breath just walking up a steep brae, which I already am. But that's just because cardiovascular fitness is obviously taking a dive. Lower back pumps seem to be gone. They don't really seem to be there anymore unless it's leg day. But again, it's been reduced. But everything's going swimmingly well. So plan for the week ahead is just continue to do what I've been doing, and there's no need to change anything, no need to up food. I'll have a meal sort of tonight, which is Saturday, so by the time it's lunch, I'll have had a meal off plan, and that'll see us get an extra sort of couple pounds for Monday, and then we'll see if it holds or it tapers back down, and then just be reactive from there, and that'll be sort of 4 weeks post diet. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. If you have any questions about, someone asking me about my food, if you have any other questions, please do let me know. If you found this vlog helpful, share it with someone, comment on it, give me a little bit of a like, let me know your feedback. But whatever you do, wherever you are, give it the beans.